not concentrating on all the great information you're going to get from all the friends here from this end. So, anyway, good afternoon, hola. Wow, we have all the whole group here. It's wonderful. And with all the spotlight, I can barely see all of you, but you all look gorgeous, even in the dark. So that's great. I guess I'm getting translation, so I don't have to stop, right? Is that right? Yeah. Okay, cool. Anyway, it's an exciting time, and thank you for coming so far and so quickly to come to Provo. And apologize for the weather. It's not quite warm, but the leaves are shining so beautiful. And it's really a good reflection of what we're doing here in New Skin. And today, I'm just going to talk about sort of an interesting product that I've been thinking of, frankly, for the last 20 years. And in fact, this is the first time that I think we have everything coming together here in New Skin, with the science, with the engineering, with all the other pieces, technology especially, on the artificial intelligence side and so on. They're all coming together with all the pieces to be able finally to be able to develop this particular product. So I think many of you will know what I'm talking about, but I'll spend more time on that. But before I begin, it's sort of interesting for all of you, especially if this is the first time you're here in New Skin, and perhaps you have heard the story. Some of you may have actually watched some of the videos of New Skin and so on. But really, coming here is really a good thing as far as I'm concerned, because here is where you see what's happening and what is actually real. Because frankly, me being in this particular industry and so on, there are many, many other opportunities available, right? And at the end of the day, we can say anything we want, frankly. And because talk is cheap, whether it's in Spanish or whether it's in English, it really doesn't matter. You can say anything. But fundamentally, at the end of the day, can you prove what you say is real and true and meaningful? That's really what makes New Skin really different. And that is why we do science here in New Skin. And you're going to hear from Tanner afterwards about other things and other products that we make. But the underlying principle and the approach and concept that we use to develop our product is actually to make sure that what we say about our products in terms of benefits, that is actually substantiated or proven by scientific studies. Now, that may be very boring to many of you, because science actually sometimes is very boring. Because I'm a scientist for the last 25 years, Maria, I told you, right? Actually longer than that. But when I try to talk science to my wife, for example, she goes to sleep very quickly. That's, in fact, a sleeping pill. So, anyway, but it's meaningful insofar the reason that we do science is to make sure that we can actually get the scientific evidence, right, to prove that the products work. I can come up here and talk to you about any product and how exciting it is and so on, but without the proof and without the scientific studies, I'm really just telling you something I imagine. All right. So now, is that meaningful? I'm hoping it is meaningful to all of you, because at the end of the day, the products that will support your business or your opportunity or whatever, you are going to talk about some of these products in some shape or form to people, right? And I'm hoping that in New Skin, that when you talk about the products, you're talking at a level that will never, ever embarrass you, right? Because you're going to see some of these people, at least maybe, and often, maybe some of these folks may not be interested in joining your organization. But if they use the product a few years later or whenever you meet them again, at least you can look them in the eye that that product actually did something, and something sort of beneficial for you, whether it's on the skin or inside the body. It really doesn't matter, but it's a meaningful product. because we've proven it. Because many products, when you say they're good, without the proof, invariably they will turn out to be not that great. So we are at a point, and in new skin, there's another thing that differentiates us and something that will continue to sustain and hopefully help you to grow your business, whether it's 5 years from now or 10 years from now, is the innovation that we do in this company, right? The innovation we do is not to impress you. The innovation that we do has really a very important objective. And that is, as I said, to sustain your business. Because innovation is about using the latest knowledge. We cannot stand still, especially in product development and in science. We continue to get better and better and more sort of new knowledge about in science, and we apply that into our product development. We can't stand still. Look at the phone. Each and every one of you, I can almost guarantee, each and every one of you sitting here has a phone, a smartphone, right? I mean, you have one of these things, whether it's an iPhone or a Samsung or whatever, you have a smartphone. When you look back 25 years or thereabout, right? What you have is Nokia. Nokia, you know the Scandinavian phone company? You had that phone. When it first came out, it dominated the market. It was an incredible phone. You know, now you can carry the phone all over the place. You don't have to be stuck, or you don't have to be tethered in a house. You have to use what we call in English a landline anymore. You can go anywhere and still be able to call your friends and family. It's a great innovation at that time, and we all really wanted to buy that and became a very big company. Now, the phone, unfortunately, even when the Nokia came over this phone, all it did was to make phone calls. It doesn't do anything more than that. But now, with our smartphone, currently with our smartphone, it is no more a phone. It's literally a computer in your hands. I mean, you may not realize it, the engineering and the computer power that is inside the phone. That phone, the power, the computing power in there is 10 times greater than the first computer that each and every one of us bought. Literally, you remember it's 1969? I think so. 1969, that was when Apollo landed on the moon, right? They used computers in Houston to set it.
Supposedly.
That computer in Houston is 10 times less powerful than your smartphone. That's how you have to innovate, because things change, things get better, more knowledge. And that's why I'm going to tell you about this new product that we did, or we are going to launch over the next few weeks and so on. It's the culmination of what we have learned. I think this particular product, in and of itself, I don't think any other company would have been able to develop it without all the knowledge that we have gained over the last 39 years here in New Skin. All right. This is a product that I'm going to tell you about. It's a product that can actually create a company. All right, in and of itself. And what am I talking about? I'm obviously talking about website. Now, some of you in the Latino market, I think some of you may have, and this is where perhaps I can give you some perspective. Remember, we had a body spa. Some of you may remember that? Yeah, you had that, you used that a lot. I see pictures of you using it. That taught us a lot in terms of what it can deliver if we want to take it to the next level. All right. But we do not want to make a new body spa. Because what we have learned with the use of the body spa is the fact that when you do something on the skin, the rest of the body responds. the rest of the body somehow will get some health benefits. That's what we've learned. Which company can you actually name that has skincare products that are really, really powerful, a very robust product category that has been connected to a nutritional health supplement category? Equally robust, equally powerful. No other company has that. Some companies, yes, company that starts with an H, even in Spanish, right? They may have something very strong or something very good in nutrition, but they suck on skincare. And vice versa. Right? So they've never been able to gather enough knowledge to be able to see, to get a vision, to get importantly an insight how the skin, with skin, it is connected to the rest of the body, and you can actually use that as an entry and to be able to produce both beauty and wellness benefits. That is why when you hear Ryan talks about the company going forward and how we're going to lead into the future, we are the leading integrated beauty and wellness company. But we can't tell that story because importantly, when you look at that vision statement that we have, it's closely connected to a second phrase, and that is powered by all of you. Right? This is a unique company. In fact, I would go as far as to say that Nu Skin is a very strange company when I first joined it in 25 years ago, because I knew nothing about direct selling and I knew nothing about all of you. But over the last 25 years, you are collectively a very powerful force.
Thank you.
Okay? And I'm dependent on all of you to use that force rather than sitting on your butt, not doing it. All right? A force cannot be activated if it is not moving and it is not triggered. So that is what's about. So this Wells Bar, it's all about the science that we've learned, right? You're going to ask me about the 75 scientists, 10 is one of them, and we have here in Nu Skin. Why do we have 75 scientists? I mean, I can get away with one scientist and come up here and tell you, one scientist, we're a science-based company. We have 75 scientists because these scientists in combination, because they come from different backgrounds. They are chemists, they are biologists, they are nutritionists, and so on, and skin biologists. You need all that collective different types of expertise coming together, congealing together to be able to understand the new science. Right. So now I'm here talking to all of you, so I'll leave you a message, and that is, now, sometimes we do launch a product that you may not like. That's not my fault. Those are the 75 scientists' fault. Now, if you like a product and you love it and you use it, it's all because of me. Because I have 75 excuses to blame them where the product don't work. But seriously, it's the message I'm trying to tell you is really, I'm here representing all the total, the collective wisdom and dedication of that team. After all, I mean, all of you love soccer, right? In Latin America, yeah, and we know that. And in any team sport, you kind of one superstar. He's good. Yeah, Messi is very good. Yeah. But against you, he can't win. He can't win if he plays football by himself. He needs the other team, right? He has to pass somebody, and so on, and get the ball back, and so on. So it's a team of science and same thing. So we discovered, really fundamentally, that there is this system in the body that's called, actually it's interesting in Spanish, lymphatical, in English, it's the lymphatic system.
Yes.
This is a network that is spread out throughout your body that controls how pure your body is going to be. All right? That's really its function. It's a transport system. Now, there's a big difference between this transport system and another transport system that you're very familiar with, and that is your blood circulation. The blood circulation is very effective, moving around the body, whether you're sitting down, lying down, or standing up, it doesn't matter, because it has a pump. You have a heart. The heart is what has developed to pump blood, whether you're sitting down or not. Because remember, we're still affected by gravity, right? So when you're standing up, I need the blood from my legs to come back to my heart to get all the oxygen and go back down. The pump does all that, the heart, okay? So it's taken care of. By contrast, the lymphatic system doesn't have a pump. Somehow it's missing a pump, but it's 3 times larger than the blood circulatory system. Its vessels go everywhere. So how does it move? Because I just told you, it purifies the body, right? Without the lymphatic system, your body gets toxic, right? And it's located very close to the skin. So how does it move? It moves through muscle contraction. All right? That's how it does. You don't believe me? When you go back to Colombia, when you go back to Venezuela, wherever, right? Chile, and all, Peru, wherever. By the way, and when you go there, you're on a plane, and you're probably spending more than 6 hours. If you take your shoes off, you cannot put your feet back into the shoe. Right? You all experience that. Correct? So why? Because the fluid did not move for 6-7 hours. The lymphatic fluid stay in your feet and it swells. You should be thinking about things like that. Yeah, that's why science is very boring, because we always look at why does it happen? Can't put my foot back in. Right? It's because of the chemo, we call it. I think in Spanish it most likely it translates to that as well. And it's because of the lymphatic fluid, because the muscle is not working, it cannot pump it back. Lymphatic fluid, like blood, it has to circulate. It has to circulate up to the chest. There are 2 big reservoirs around your chest area. It gets there, guess what? And it finally leaves that, goes into the kidney, and it takes all the toxic substances in your body out. Okay? So now you understand. You begin, there are other things that are associated with the lymphatic system that are equally important, what I just told you during the circulation. But it's suffice to say, it helps us understand, hey, there's nothing, nobody has been able to sort of affect the lymphatic system and help it to move better with a product. So we think, oh, okay, fine, it's a good thing to have. How do you do that? Oh, wow, we're doing this thing on the skin, right? We're making the skin really beautiful with this particular device. While we're doing that, we're starting to see from scientific study that it affects and helps the lymphatic system to move. Right? And then with subsequent studies, we begin to understand now it does 3 important things. And there are specific benefits that you can learn later. But nonetheless, when I look at all the benefits that you get with the use of the well spa, and that's why we call it a well spa. It's not an upgrade for the body spa, but it is an evolution, a transformation. It's the understanding that we got from the body spa that we finally were able to make an integrated beauty and wellness device. Okay? So now, when we look at the type of benefits, we can summarize and put all those benefits under 3 R's, even in Spanish. restoring the body, recovering the body, and finally revitalizing the body. That's all you really need to remember. That when you use this, you're going to look great. But to me, personally, I think it's even more important. You're actually going to help to improve the health of your body. Right? So this is the power of this particular product. No other device on the market right now is actually able to have the scientific studies to prove this. So this is really why it's so important and so exciting. I mean, I had this idea 20 years ago. Why can't we integrate beauty and wellness together? But we have nothing. So you see that design, that particular, what I call the metallic nodes? It's so different, right? The body spa taught us another thing on the engineering side. Every time you guys use it with a gel, you seem to drop it. Right? It's very slippery. And then you complain that the product doesn't work anymore after you drop it a few times. You blame the company.
Yeah.
Right, Alan? Oh no, yeah. Why can't I get a new one? It doesn't work anymore. You drop it 3 times in the shower. Well, it's okay. But nonetheless, good product, that grip is not there. The flat thing is not good. That's why we came up with this design.
It's a great design.
Yeah. So even Alan loves it. So that's very important. Very sorry. So let me show you a quick video by one of our scientists. We did it with one of our. There's another thing. There's a scientific advisor that we have, and this is a doctor, a professor of dermatology at Duke University down in North Carolina, and they can actually articulate the things that I've been talking about even in a better way. All right. So let's watch this particular video.
La vida es un constante acto de equilibrio y a veces no nos sentimos al máximo. Muchos de nosotros llevamos un estilo de vida sedentario debido a largas horas de trabajo, comodidades modernas y poco tiempo para cuidarnos y recuperarnos de nuestro día a día. Estos desafíos del estilo de vida tienen consecuencias para nuestro bienestar porque nuestro cuerpo es como un ecosistema. Necesita soluciones que integren nuestro bienestar personal y necesidades cambiantes. Por eso en Nuskin estamos interesados en la integración personalizada del bienestar y la belleza. Estamos investigando cómo la tecnología de los dispositivos puede ayudar a equilibrar la sensación de bienestar y mejorar la apariencia general. Específicamente buscamos una tecnología que se centra en la exclusiva microcorriente de control continuo de confort que contornee y de masaje. Escuchemos a la doctora Zoe Draelos, dermatóloga certificada, quien habla sobre algunos de los aspectos científicos detrás de nuestra microcorriente optimizada. El cuerpo es una máquina electroquímica. Tenemos sustancias en nuestro cuerpo como el potasio, el cloruro y el sodio, que son sustancias cargadas que entran y salen de nuestras células, porque dentro de cada célula hay una fábrica que genera energía, y esa fábrica se llama mitocondria. En cada célula hay una microcorriente, y esa es la máquina de producción de energía del cuerpo. Así que mientras estoy sentada aquí y quiero mover la mano, mi cerebro envía una señal eléctrica a mi músculo. Dentro del músculo, el sodio, el cloruro y el potasio entran y salen de las células. Y ese movimiento crea electricidad, lo que me permite mover el brazo. Todas las actividades que hacen los seres humanos, reír, comer, disfrutar de la vida, movernos, son de naturaleza electroquímica. Las corrientes generadas por dispositivos externos que utilizan electricidad de bajo voltaje, como las microcorrientes, pueden mejorar la apariencia de la piel y la sensación de bienestar. La tecnología de microcorriente que se ajusta a la conductividad de la piel proporciona una corriente más alta y cómoda para el usuario. El equilibrio entre la intensidad de corriente y el dolor es importante, ya que el dolor es la forma que el cuerpo nos dice que algo no está bien. Los productos tópicos concentrados no solo conducen esta corriente, sino que también proporcionan un masaje suave y cómodo, el cual brinda una sensación relajante para ayudar al bienestar general. En una evaluación clínica estudiamos un dispositivo de masaje de microcorriente único por su capacidad de aumentar el movimiento de los fluidos. Mediante el uso de imágenes de la piel con SpectraCam, se identificaron cambios notables, lo que indica un aumento de la mejora. Este aumento de mejora se puede manifestar de diferentes maneras, incluyendo la hidratación. En la misma evaluación, observamos un aumento significativo en la hidratación de la piel mediante el corneómetro. Por lo tanto, no es sorprendente que se puedan ver mejoras visibles en la piel. Aquí vemos imágenes de un régimen centrado en la belleza que utiliza esta tecnología única al inicio del estudio y en las semanas 2, 4, 8 y 12. La investigación y la innovación de Nuskin se suman a los avances de la ciencia y la tecnología.
Wow.
Okay. So, yeah, it really is quite incredible, right? And I hope you understand this thing. And some of the pictures in terms of the movement of the device and all, it's important. And I'll tell you in a minute why this actually WellSpa device is also a smart device like a smartphone. You know, it really, we have engineered this particular device in such a manner that is self-adjusting, you know, and this kind of graphics, these I haven't impressed you, right? The scientists here. You got to show some scientific data here. So that's a scientific data. I don't know what the hell it means, but anyway, I do that. So what it means, these are the microcurrent. We call this the microcurrent technology. But what is important about this microcurrent technology that we have learned from all the previous devices that we have used this technology is that it's important for once we have been able to make it and develop a self-adjusting microcurrent technology, right? So it gives you this comfort level. There is a particular sort of power that we have to maintain to make this microcurrent effective. But it varies because all our skin is different. So skin is a conducting kind of tissue, but it varies from person to person. If some of you have thin skin, some of you have thicker skin, and so on. So the conductance changes. Now we have a device that can adjust to that. It can sense what type of conductance is happening on the skin type. All right. So that's what we call it the adaptive microcurrent technology. So, and there are other factors that affect microcurrent. And this is just to give you an example. The hydration, your climate, obviously, climate in Utah is often dry. That will affect this particular technology, you know, and so on and so forth. We've taken all of that into account. And essentially, collectively, we call this the self-adjusting, the ability to sense what's happening and adjust the power to the effective range. We call it the M power. Right? It actually just stands for microcurrent, but marketing, the people have to do something. So, M power. So, and that what is important for all of you is the fucking screenshot that you see that's moving, numbers and all that.
Yeah.
That shows you. If you cannot explain how this particular WellSpa device works, it doesn't matter. Once you pair it and connect it, you just show them the screen. All right. And you show them this is actually in real time. This is what is happening as you move the device across your skin, depending on which location. Now, once you are, this is an interesting one, right? Somebody actually asked me this question. Yeah, can I use two of the devices together? Well, yeah, but then again, you have our hands ambidextrous, Alan, right? Usually you only either a right-hander or left-hander. Use both, you better make sure that you focus because, you know, most of us cannot do two things at the same time. Well, but nonetheless.
I can play two.
Yeah, yeah. So now, if you want to do your back, you can also do your back. I like to see you stretch all the way to the back. So you better get your partner to help you out with that one.
Please.
But nonetheless, this smart device through this particular Vera app that we are launching, and you can pair with the device, it will coach you through different parts of the body, will require the device to use in a particular direction. Remember what I say about the legs? When the fluid is sort of pulling around your ankle, You got to move it back up. So if you use the device and you push it down, it's not as effective as moving it up. Right? So these are some of the things that we have incorporated in the coaching section of the smart device. Now, that's not all. You think the device can do everything. Well, it cannot if it doesn't have a connection to the skin. Right? Remember, when you were in school, you got to remember, electricity has to be conducted through some kind of medium. Right? Right? Okay, you got it. So now is the reason now you're beginning to realize the relationship between the device and the gel. And that's why we include this activating gel to help you facilitate the efficiency or the workings, the mechanism of the microcurrent that we have put in the device. Without the gel, the microcurrent has no effect. Okay, that's not all. So that's one benefit or one property of the gel. There's another one. We have put in some active ingredients into the gel. And these active ingredients in the gel helps to deliver, for example, with this particular ingredient, it helps to release with this particular one, it releases a particular substance that's called endorphin. Now, many of you may not know what endorphin is, but endorphin is a substance that is naturally being released by your body to relax. All right? To feel good. It's actually a feel-good substance. Right? That's why science and scientific studies have proven that a marathon runner, for example, the reason why those guys run 26 miles is because they, after training and after getting themselves into that kind of activity, they cannot get out of it because it releases endorphin. It actually helps them to feel good when they run. Okay? When they stop running, they don't feel so good. And it's because of that. And now we have an ingredient put into the gel that can help you release some of that stuff and help you relax. All right? There's another gel that we have made, and this is called the body serum. Other ingredients will also in that will help you to do other things. In fact, there's an additional feature that we have not focused a lot on. It actually helps you to improve blood circulation too. Because there are little capillaries on the surface of the skin that's part of the blood circulatory system. And that, if you move that, it helps to purify your body too. So there are lots of things happening. There are active ingredients in the gel. It's not just a conducting gel. So here are some pictures before and after. You're not going to believe me. These are the scientific studies. Here's the now. Before and after. Right? After using the well spot. The sting improvement. And that is because it actually tones up and eliminates some of the fat tissue below the skin. Right? These are arms, and then after 4 seconds, you should show another one. Is it going to show another one? On the leg. I think, there you go, on the thigh. Back of that. There's cellulite. What is cellulite after all? The reason why some of the skin at the back of your thigh looks a bit wrinkled is because of, not because of skin, but it's because of the fat tissue not being smooth below the skin. So when you smooth out the fat, your skin looks better. And this is what you can do with the low spot. It also reminds me, right? There's another thing. This is the first time ever that I can confidently say that the men can actually get more benefits out of this particular device than any of our previous facial devices. Okay, because think about it, right? There's a massaging action associated with the device. And what is massage most important? That is during your workout regimen. It can be used before your workout to loosen up your muscles so that you don't sort of suddenly put your muscle into intense activity. You relax it with this particular device. And after device, what do? You don't see Lionel Messi immediately sitting down and not moving after an intense soccer game, right? They have to move to make sure they don't cramp. They have to bring their body back down to a steady state and not immediately. This device can help you to do that. Pre and post workout uses with this. That's why I'm saying the guys should actually be thinking of putting this device into every gym bag. So here's the thing. What am I talking about? All these things, skin, inside the body. I'm really saying we now have a device that can rebalance your body. This is what is happening. This is why people do yoga. Is to bring the body back to equilibrium. This is why people meditate. This is what is actually meditation and all these other things is about restoring balance in the body. When you have that, you can achieve those benefits I just described. And when you collectively look at the specific things or benefits that I've just described in the device, when I put them together and look at the whole picture, what it is, the device is a balancing device. It balances your body. Okay? So and here's a smart connection. This is a smart app through Vera, and you connect all these things together. And when you plug the current device, it will help you to coach, it will help you to do all the other things related to demos. I just showed you one pretty compelling demo and what the device is doing. You can say, I don't feel anything, or whatever, I can't see. You can talk about all this. Well, you don't have to talk anymore. See what's happening when you switch on the device. Okay? So that's really, I'm trying to give you the background behind the device. So when you go and put this device in the hands of new people and so on, there's really not a lot of explanation you need to do. This is really one device and use it, man. This is, I mean, you really literally sort of something. Once you use it, you're gonna feel it, you can see it, and so on. It really nothing like it in the marketplace currently. Okay, so afterwards you're gonna hear something else from Dana, but hopefully this most part I'm gonna help that you will delight all your customers and hopefully also help to build most importantly.
Y estoy parando por personas.
Oh.